It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. You have arrived on a Friday. It's the end of a week, and I am excited for today's Masterpiece Friday. It has been way too long since we listened to music by SPOCK'S Beard on the channel, and today is the day. I'm excited about it. So we first heard music by this band in episode 192, and the song was At the End of the Day. Then I heard them doing live Solitary Soul and Wind at My Back. That was in episode 215. And I have been planning to get back to their music for months. I seriously have, y'all, and we've just kept delaying it. Well, I was spurred to do this episode at this time by our recent fan favorites voting over on Patreon. We were searching for our favorite longer songs, our favorite epics, and two songs by SPOCK'S Beard were up in the running, The Light and The Great Nothing, and The Light received more votes than The Great Nothing, and it received many votes, but it barely missed out on making our video. So I decided to go ahead and today just listen to it here on the channel, because apparently a lot of people like this song, and when I started reading in on it, I'm like, yeah, I think this is an important one to include from this band. So let's get into it. The Light is the title track from SPOCK'S Beard's debut album, and it was released in early 1995. It's about 15 and a half minutes long, and it was written by Neil Morse. And with this 8-part composition, he has an 8-part composition in only 15 and a half minutes, y'all. So we are seeing the birth of the Neil Morse epic, as it were, as he has become quite accustomed to long-form songwriting, whether it's as part of SPOCK'S Beard, or in Transatlantic, or Flying Colors, or the Neil Morse Band, or his own solo projects, or whatever Neil is up to, and he's always up to something, right? So Neil had been gigging as a professional musician for several years, and he had tried his hand at several musical genres and styles before founding SPOCK'S Beard with his brother Alan. And in doing so, he was seeking to give voice to his passion for progressive rock. And in this song, The Light, it was the first song that he wrote for this new project. Neil and Alan met drummer Nick DiVirgilio and invited him to join them, and then bassist Dave Maros, who also plays the French horn, was invited to join them as well and complete the original lineup. So in true prog rock fashion, y'all, this first album only has 4 songs, but it's like an hour long. So even from the very beginning, they've got the prog thing right. So let's take a look, y'all. Neil Morse is on lead vocals, keyboards, and guitars. Alan Morse is on electric guitar, the cello, mellotron, and backing vocals. Dave Maros is on the bass and the French horn, and Nick DiVirgilio is on drums and backing vocals. This is The Light by SPOCK'S Beard. Off we go. Not the way I was expecting that to start. Whew. Like a 7th chord with an added note.
What makes a dream so very different from any other dream?
It is like a dream sequence.
Where is that straight line that I can hold up to the light and
Where is
say
that
no,
straight line that I can
this is
hold up to the
not
light and say, no, this is not right?
this does not stand up
That sounds like the 5.
in the light.
And it goes somewhere completely different. That was The Light, section 1. Now we're on to section 2, One Man. It's over a G, I think, and you got lay. Arrival on a major chord. Up a step. Listen to that. Completely different from the opening, which reminded me of stage musical, and then back into kind of like a stage musical. What is that?
Call me Kavanaugh. I'm the one with the caveman jaw. Call me Smitty or Jones, sucking on the TVs and the telephones. I am the critical masses. Stand back and watch as time passes.
So he's Kavanaugh, he's Smitty or Jones, he's the critical masses. He's trying to figure out. He's the centerfold.
I know the stories before they get told. You can call me Kennedy. You may have killed him, but
you may have killed him, but you cannot kill me. Talking about Kennedy.
Crippled and blind. I paint the pretty pictures on the subway signs. Yeah, I'm everything to everyone.
Okay.
And I won't go away at the point of a gun.
Interesting. So he lands on E. Chromatic third. There's a horn. He's rock and roll, he's classical, country, and soul. He's the nun and the flasher. He's everything.
The church and the steeple. Open the door and see all the people.
I'm not a big fan of the effect on his voice, though. This in one man, he gets back to E. It's like a B chord and an A chord just kind of stuck together, I think. And up to the B, which I still hear as 5. Next section, Garden People. Half step. It's like major and minor. Just a prism. He's kind of inspecting it. Garden people. It's pretty much the only lyrics in this section. Down by half step. Back up to it. Lands on E. I think this is going to be the fourth section. Looking straight into the light.
Look, there's a light headed for the sun. Stand and you might turn to everyone. The lady, the last, melted the glass, looking straight into the light.
That's totally musical theater. Like modern musical theater at this time.
Stand at the door that would not open.
Very similar.
You tried so hard before, but now we're on your side. You see us all, the left and the right, looking straight into the light.
Still in F sharp. Interesting effects. It sounds a bit dated, if I can say that. When I compare it to the patches and the recording technology that's available today, it sounds a bit like it's from the mid-90s.
Looking straight into the light. Looking straight into the light.
Big four chord. Moves to A. And then all of that sound away. The next section, I think, is The Man in the Mountain. We've had some of those Lydian moves over the top of these chords as well.
I am the man in the mountain. I stand alone. I've been down
Lydian.
around in a sea of loveless illusion. So many lost.
So now he's
So
the man
many
in the mountain,
drowned.
standing alone.
I got no church, got no steeple.
Now he's got no church.
time for you people.
And no time for people.
I live the life of a shadow. The only chance that I have now is there in the light.
The only chance he has now is there in the light. So what is the light? I'm still trying to figure that out. Up a step. Lovely. Back to this. Major and minor again.
They wore all kinds of things on their heads to disguise that they'd rather be unfettered than be wealthy and wise. And they listened as their enemies made a similar sound. And they watched a million cars go by. They were gaining some ground, but they didn't know what to do with this thing they had found.
So they had a party. So they had a party.
So they had a party. Sounds like a party. moving to section 6, Senor Velasco's Mystic Voodoo Love Dance.
I am Senor Velasco. I drink my milk with Tabasco. Got no place to stand. Got no home, no land. But I don't ever want to die. Don't place no one before I.
On 7, 6 to 5. Tele Soul, just in D minor.
I am the
With the
master
acoustic
chamber.
flair here.
I know of love, not of danger. Got no place to go. Ain't nothing better than be here. Don't ever want to die. Don't place no one before
I like this section. Groovy.
Don't ever
There's
want
the
to
G.
die. Don't place no one before Whoa, 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 whoa,
Really segmented with these different sections, and none of these sections are very long. Musically, he's all over the place, along with the lyrics. Different styles, different feels, in and out of sections. Section 7, The Return of the Horrible Catfish Man.
Go ahead and say what you say now. I stand, humanity rectus, stand back.
So he doesn't give a crap what you think or what you say. He's the Catfish Man. He's a punk. All of this in one man. Flat 6, flat 7. Flat 3 to 4.
What makes a dream
Back to where he started.
so very different from any other dream? Where is that straight line
Where's that straight line?
that I can hold up to the
That I can hold up to the light and say
yes,
yes, not no.
this is all right.
This is all right.
This one will stand up. In the light.
Is it major or minor? Major. Lands on E. That opening and closing I heard around C sharp. So I think a lot of it is going between C sharp minor and E, the relative major and minor, and then other places throughout that. What an interesting piece of music that is. Like I said in the intro, it's like proto-Neil, you know? This is the first sort of big multi-sectional suite, long-form storytelling that we have from Neil Morse. And it's got all the sections. It's got 8 sections, but none of them are very long. The whole thing is like 15 and a half, 16 minutes. So there's room for growth, and we get that if you've followed Neil's career and heard some of his other stuff. I've got some of my albums that feature Neil's music back here. I've got Transatlantic, and a couple from the Neil Morse band there, and I've heard all of them, and they are long-form storytelling, let me tell you that, but they're wonderful. They really, really are. Of course, I think the light is metaphorical here. I think we can agree on that. In both the intro and in the outro, our protagonist is actively weighing his different dreams for his own life, and he's analyzing and he's thinking on these dreams. He's holding them up to the metaphorical light, you know, to see if they hold up and if they come off as fulfilling and worthy or not. And then I think he's just going on a quest to actively go through these different roles that he might embody, these different roles in society and how they might feel to him. It's like he's trying them all on, and he's seeing who he might be if he's his true self. Let's go back through these. He's an average Joe. I think the critical masses that he talks about here. He's a public persona or an influencer, like a politician. The centerfold, he was a publisher, also an influencer, I guess, in that sense. With the garden people, I think of that as like stoners or people that are just hanging around and being slackers and just not doing anything. Could be that. He could be the man on the mountain that he talks about, the loner, right? Just away from people. Or he could be a party animal who lives for the moment, right? The Senor Velasco section. Or that Catfish Man section where he's sort of a punk and doesn't care what anybody else thinks. There was a spot where he's a family man, but is he a father, a son, or a bastard? Maybe all three. I don't know. And he talks about both being the church and all the people being there and having no church at all and having no time for these people. That's fascinating to me, especially with where Neil has gone in his own personal life after this, right? Even musically, he's questioning who he is and what is best for his own artistic goals. He's said that he's rock and roll, he's classical, he's country, he's soul. Well, are you all of them? Which one at any given time? When we distill all of it down, I think he's just seeking wisdom. And I think he's actually doing it in a healthy way. He's seeking it all from within instead of from society at large. And he's hoping for this discernment that he can directly apply to all of these thoughts and all of these dreams that he's having. And I think that in the end, he realizes that he can be any of these things. That any of these dreams of his can come to fruition, and his fulfillment in any of these scenarios comes down to, I think, his own point of view and his own self-respect and what he does and what he thinks and in what he says. You know, do you respect what you're doing? You can feel good about it. And for the rest of us, as we hear this, as I'm thinking, like, what can I take from this? We can realize that we can undertake the same sort of personal journey and personal discovery, and that each of our conclusions belongs to us as our own individual people. And it's up to us to follow our dreams and to manifest being in line with our own integrity and self-respect as we find out who we are. And so I think that's just what it is. It's just this journey of self-discovery, and the light is the metaphor for kind of the gold standard. Does this feed my soul? Does this better me and the people around me, or does it take from me and the people around me? And it's just searching and hoping for that level of discernment in your own life so that you can make these decisions and make the best out of your life. It's a really fascinating thing, and it makes sense as the first song on this journey for Neil and for the band, because it lays out all of these possibilities, and we'll see where it goes. Well, that's fun. It makes me want to get to the rest of the album. I know that a bunch of people have been asking for a lot from Neil-related projects, whether it be Transatlantic or Flying Colors or the Neil Morse Band or whatever. I've done a few full albums from the Neil Morse Band over on our Patreon, so if you're interested in that, go take a look. Both of these back here, The Great Adventure and Similitude of a Dream, I've taken a look at the entirety of those over on Patreon, and I have enjoyed them. I've also got to meet Neil in person at a Transatlantic show, and I've chatted with him on the channel in the past. He's become a lovely friend, and I enjoy his music, and I enjoy learning and hearing all this stuff from his discography and Spock's Beard's discography specifically that I haven't heard yet. So this has been fun on a Friday as we finish out the week. We've been listening to The Light by Spock's Beard. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily